Fellow YouTubers. I want to give a shout out to Don Picton. Thank you for the sweet care package, bro. Much appreciated. Right now, I'm just working on wands. This wand right here is going to be painted green with gold stripes. And for the striped wands, I'm going to have to charge a little bit more because, arguably speaking, they take longer to paint. I have to wait for the striped layer to dry one whole day before I add the next color, so that way the stripe doesn't come off when I go to do the process. However, YouTube, there is a perk to buying the more expensive ones. I try to include something extra, maybe a signed tape, or maybe a personalized video sent to your email saying, hey, thank you for your purchase, along with your certificate. Yep. The thing people don't realize is that when you buy a wand from Cobra Craft Handmade Wands, you're buying a wand from a real practitioner of the craft. Which, arguably speaking, that being said, I could charge more for these, but I have a fair price for a real wand, so... yeah, I'm gonna let that dry up a bit all day today, and then once it's done drying, I'll add the green to it. Being as St. Patrick's Day is around the corner, leprechauns and their gold, I figured this would be the perfect time to do a St. Patty's Day themed wand. Yeah. And because Valentine's Day was last month, let's do a themed wand for that as well. Yeah. All you can do is keep on keeping, man. My wand business is literally 2 years successful. In the last 2 years, I've been selling my handcrafted wands from Cobra Craft Wands, and I've been doing good for myself, making that money and making fans happy. But, I'll crack open a steel reserve that, booyah. I'll crack open a steel reserve, baby, because that's what's up. Yeah. A couple of my fans are in town to hang out. That's pretty sweet. That's all I'm going to say on that. Don't want to ruin too much of the fun now. Or the surprises. Yeah. Now I can fill this entire Jack Skeleton mug up with some Blue Reserve that the fans purchased. Greatly appreciated. Or we're gonna watch this rock feed video right quick.
Things have been really rough for Ozzy Osbourne. As you know, we've talked about this multiple times here, but we haven't really gotten the sense for how it's affected him emotionally until this interview that he did today on Good Morning Britain that I just saw, and it was really, really heartbreaking to see how Ozzy truly does feel about getting back up there on the stage. This all started when he was already planning on ramping down tour dates while still performing, but not touring as often, with no more tours too. And then he got that infection, and then he injured himself or re-injured the rods that were dislodged from that 2003 ATV accident. So he's been through so much, but that bone-shattering fall that he had about a year ago now was what really was difficult and challenging for him and has caused multiple delays of these makeup dates and that recent postponement of tour dates or cancellation, whatever you want to call it. There are no plans for him to return to the stage. He's just working towards it right now. So he was talking to Piers Morgan on Good Morning Britain, and Piers asked him, he said, look, what if you can never get back on the stage again? And Ozzy cuts him off mid speech and is like, I know what you're going to ask, but I have to believe that I'm going to get back on stage. That's what keeps me going.
Cheers.
And I felt like it was a very interesting window into Ozzy, where everybody thinks, somebody like Ozzy, he's got it all. He could just stay at home all day and play PlayStation or something. He's made millions and millions of dollars, but that's not what drives him. What drives him is truly connecting with the fans. And, they've got that song, Ordinary Man. And, he says, I did it all for you. And you've got to believe that that is really how he's lived his life for the fans. So here he is talking to Piers.
My desire is to get back on stage. I'm not ready to stand up on my own. That's what I live for, to do shows.
What do the doctors think about that?
Well, he started to say, you've got to exercise. But I exercise as much as I can. I have a trainer. I do Pilates. I do all kinds of masseuses and whatever, nurses 24/7. But I just want, the best medication I can get is being in front of an audience, which is breaking my heart, to be honest.
If you're not able to perform live again,
I will.
You're determined.
Absolutely. I will be up there. I have to say that. I know you're going to say, what will you do if you can't do it again? That's not an option, because I will do it. I'm determined to. Even to say one show goodbye, I will do it one more time.
And Sharon, what do you believe in your gut? Do you think that Ozzy can perform again?
Yeah.
I've got to, because it's the only thing. Sharon said to me at one point, what are you going to do if you can't do it? And I said to her, there's no option. I have to do it, because that's the only thing I've ever done in my life. That's the only thing I've ever wanted to do. That's the only thing I've felt confident about that I can do it.
I don't think I've ever seen an interview where Ozzy was that serious. He was that intense, where Sharon's not even cutting in. It was obviously very emotional for him to think about not being able to perform, and my heart goes out to him. There's got to be a way that we can see Ozzy on stage, and I've sort of thought about it, and who's to say that we can't get Dave Grohl's Throne and get Ozzy back up on stage and let him perform with folks from the Throne if he's currently not healthy enough to get up there on stage and prance around. Why can't we have Ozzy perform from the Throne? I would be perfectly fine seeing that. I don't, if this is a man who's so unhappy that he can't perform for the folks, could we get Ozzy's Throne out there and get him up on stage? I'm sorry, Dave Grohl's Throne. So, if anybody's watching, let's reach out to Dave. I'm saying it right here. Let's get that throne to Ozzy, and maybe if he's able, maybe that could be an amicable solution where we could find that middle ground for him, and maybe that would work. Who's to say he has to stand? I don't have a problem with that. I don't know about you guys. I'll slam some brews and listen to Ozzy Osbourne perform up there from that throne. I don't have a problem with that. What about you guys? Let me know in the comments down below. Ultimately, it's what's best for his physical health and also
Most
his
definitely.
mental health. So we wish you all the best, Ozzy, and we know you're going to get up there on stage.
Fuck yeah.
Anyways,
dude.
that's all for now. Thanks so much for joining us today at Rockfeed. If you're new here, be sure to subscribe with notifications on so you don't miss out on breaking news and updates. Thanks again for joining us, and I'll see you all very soon.
Yes, I would recommend subscribing to Rockfeed. It's a good YouTube channel. It's one of the ones that I'm subscribed to. I love Ozzy's determination. I really do. You know, he's not letting age or health slow him down. He's recovering as quickly as he can. And when people asked him, you know, what if you can't go back up on stage? And he said, that's not an option. You know, Ozzy Osbourne's one of the greatest musicians alive because he'll go until he can't go anymore. He'll go and then some. You know, he's Iron Man for a reason. And that's why I raised my Jack Skeleton glass full of Steel Reserve to Mr. Ozzy Osbourne. You know, and I totally get that determination. You know, it's like when my trolls fuck with me. I mean, literally fuck with me, to the point where they're trying as hard as they can to make my life miserable. I says to my trolls, fuck the trolls. That's what I says to them. And then I keep making videos. I keep doing my lawn business. You know, it's a similar concept, I feel like. You know, whether it's bad health or people with bad attitudes, you can't let life get you down. You really can't. Sometimes it's easier said than done because you're going to have your heartaches and your BS. But that's life, dude. If life were easy, it would be a slut. And that's a quote from my ex-girlfriend Summer. But yeah, some fans of mine literally spent $500 to come visit me. And that's kind of a surreal feeling. I appreciate them coming down to see me and hang out. That's actually pretty cool. You know, but for me personally, it's a surreal feeling. It's just like, wait, I'm so famous that people will literally spend $500, you know. But again, I don't want to ruin the surprises on that. There's a lot of awesome things to happen with the fans coming down to visit and what have you. The chip video that I made last night is uploading. It's now at the processing point. I'm gonna wait for it to process and then it'll upload. Yep. I feel like Ozzy's attitude towards his music is a great attitude to have in life in general. When people say you can't do it, you tell them, I can do it. People are saying, it's not for my health, but I know I'm a liar. Feeling alright in the noise and the light. But that's what lights my fire, Hellraiser. Out of control, I play the ultimate role. But that's what lights my fire. And that's just it. It's not only Ozzy's determination to get back up on stage and perform for his fans. It's the love of his fans have for him. You know, there's a mutual appreciation there. Ozzy loves what he does, and his fans love watching him perform. I consider myself quite blessed to have seen Ozzy Osbourne perform in Denver, Colorado before he had to cancel his last 4 shows of that tour, and after that, ever since, it's been insane watching Ozzy go through that shit, man. Watching him in his interviews, he feels like that people are only going to remember him for that one time he bit off the head of a bat, but honestly, it's more than that for me as a true Ozzy Osbourne fan. It's more than that, okay? Ozzy looks up to the Beatles. Well, Ozzy Osbourne is like my Beatles, if that makes any sense. I look up to Ozzy Osbourne the way he looks up to the Beatles, you know? And that's just the truth of it. I feel like as we progress, medical science will get so much more advanced. New treatment options will come out, you know. Ozzy's cheated death so many times that at this point it might slow him down for a couple years, but it's not going to stop him. You know, it's like Ozzy Osbourne famously said, "I don't want to stop," which is off his Black Rain album. Which is the other time I saw him in concert was his Black Rain tour with Rob Zombie. That shit was epic. All my life I've been leaning over the top. I don't know what I'm doing. All I know is I don't want to stop. And that's been Ozzy Osbourne's attitude with his career. Most of us could dream of being as rich as he is at 71, you know? Let alone still being active. Most people have retired by the age of 71, but Ozzy Osbourne's like, nope, I'm not done yet. And that kind of drive and that determination, it's inspiring, you know. It's more than just his music and his legacy. It's the way he cares about his fans and how determined he is to get back up on stage despite all the health bullshit. You know, it's inspiring. It really is. I'm sitting there having a drink with me fans at Frosty's last night, and the Ordinary Man album came on. A couple of songs were being played, and I'm sitting there like, fuck yeah, I recognized it as Ozzy's new album. I started jamming to it and singing along with it, you know. Yeah. I could probably try singing some Ordinary Man on YouTube, but I might get copyright strike for that. So I have to be extremely careful with it. Take what you want from me. Take what you need from me. Very good. The chip video the night video I made last night is finished processing. Bloody good. Now that's what I like to see. My fans also bought some of these Diablo chips from Taco Bell, and they brought them over when they came to visit. So I figured I'd give them a review too at the same time. Ooh yeah. People often wonder, Gothic King Cobra, how do you put up with your trolls? How do you have that drive to keep making videos? And how do you have that ability to just be yourself and not give a shit what anyone thinks? And that would be a good question if you ask that. Like I said, my inspiration comes from people like Ozzy Osbourne who don't let nothing slow them down. You know, it's not just Ozzy, it's people I grew up with, you know. My great-grandfather was in his 80s digging fence posts and putting them in his backyard. He was awful sore the next day, but damn it, he got it done. And it's just people like that have inspired me for who I am today, you know. These people who have said, I'm not going to let age slow me down, you know. And I've been slacking on the wands, so let's get them started again. The weather's been absolute shit, so collecting sticks when the weather's shit, it's difficult. I'm out there bundled up in my coats. I got my messenger bag and my branch clippers, and I'm like, all right, let's go collect some wandwood. And I'll walk all over town to trees that are a part of city property. And the only people that have harassed me about collecting wandwood are the citizens. The cops haven't harassed me about it because they know I'm autistic, and they're just like, hey, you know what? He's out here trying to make an honest living. He's not on someone else's personal property without permission, so yeah. But when you sell wands for 2 years, I mean, literally, that is surreal to think about as I sit here and watch yet another wand get painted. I've been selling my handcrafted wands for 2 years. I mean, that is insane to think about, YouTube. You know? I never thought, I had the idea, and I'm like, I like making wands. My fans been asking for years how much you charge for them. So finally I decided to make a business out of it. And it's been very, very nice. Like, as you can see, I'm rocking one of my new Cobra Craft handmade wand shirts that Don Picton sent, and it's a muscle shirt, so I can show off these beautiful biceps of mine. Yeah. Which, for somebody who smokes cigarettes, I'm fucking ripped. Just straight up. Yeah. That's good genetics, baby. That's good genetics. People on my biological mother's side, like my biological mother's brother, Uncle Ross, and what have you, very ripped. You know what I'm saying? My dad also very ripped. So both sides of genetics, I come from a line of very muscular people, so naturally it's gonna happen. Like, yeah. I can only imagine what my Pentecostal mother would think if she found out her first son is selling magic wands on Etsy. She'd probably think I was the devil, and I would laugh. I would laugh hysterically. Yes, I would. But yeah, that's just the thing of it, YouTube. You know, I've had trolls try their damnedest to fuck with me. They got me swatted. They've scared off every potential girlfriend I could have. They tried, you know. But despite the fact that trolls try to scare off women, they still talk to me. They still think I'm attractive. So their efforts are wasted. Like me right now drinking this alcohol. Right now I'm charging up my phone, and then I'm going to head to a friend's house. The YouTube fans that are here in town said they were going to get a hold of me sometime today. So we'll see on that. Again, I don't want to talk too much about that because I don't want to ruin, you know. But, yeah. I mean, the sidewalks are clear enough. I might ride my bike. I haven't gone for a bike ride in a minute. And I love taking my chopper out for a bike ride. Oh, that pedal bike you see in the background. Yeah, that thing kicks ass. Out of all the bikes that I have owned in my lifetime, that bike is my favorite. Yeah. I mean, the weather is decent enough that I don't see why I can't ride it. But yeah, I'm gonna drink the rest of this cup here full of deliciousness. And I'll catch you cool cobras later.